So in the last class, we have seen this single unit transformers of two different types. One is metallic body, another is dielectric body. So these single units, this kind of construction can go to a maximum of about 100 kilovolts. So in the order of 100 kilovolts. So if we want to increase the uh, voltage rating in such construction, because beyond about 100 kilovolts the construction of bushing becomes difficult actually. So that is the one reason. So we normally in practice beyond 100 kilovolts it becomes difficult. Therefore such kind of construction is not done. Instead, multiplier circuits, multiple transformer, cascading transformers are used. So here, is there any other way to increase the voltage level in the single unit transformer case? There is another possibility actually that we see today. So this is the construction, single unit testing transformer with midpoint potential at core. So the midpoint potential is at core potential is at midpoint potential. This is how it is done actually. Here I'll show you there are windings here. So in this case, this is an excitation winding, primary winding. Sorry, primary winding, and this is a tertiary winding which goes for excitation actually. Here we have these two. These two windings are not primary actually. They are what is called compensatory winding. Compensating winding. So what will happen? We will see here. So as you can see here, this is a high voltage actually. From this point to this point is considered as high voltage. And there is at the midpoint it is connected to the core, but core is not at ground potential. You can see this point is at ground potential, and primary is here and secondary is here, tertiary is here, or excitation winding is here. So this is main high voltage winding. These two windings are actually compensating windings. So here how it is assembled, you can see here. So this is the primary, the black shaded region. So you had to, this is cross-sectional view. This entire thing is cross-sectional view. If you view from top side, you will all see circular cylinders only, like this. Circular cylinders. So here this is one half of the cylinder you can see here, the cross-sectional view, and other half of the cross-sectional view is here. So this is this black shaded portion. This portion corresponds to the primary winding, and here these two are input leads of the primary winding. These two. Now you can see here this terminal, the one of the primary terminal is actually grounded, and this is grounded means if it is cascading, then it will have a different potential. But if it is the first stage, you can consider. So this is at ground potential, and this is at HV, this high voltage. Now you see this is the high voltage winding actually. These lines are high voltage winding, HV winding. This is one half, this is another half. This high voltage winding is distributed on two legs actually. This is one leg here and this is another leg here. So this is also high voltage winding, this portion. It is indicated 3A, 3B. This 3A and 3B are high voltage winding. Now you can see the high voltage winding, from once the first leg is finished, the lead goes to the other leg like this, and here at the midpoint it is grounded, it is connected to the core. So the core potential is potential of the midpoint of the high voltage winding. And again the second half, next half of the high voltage winding continues on this portion here. So this is the second half of the high voltage winding. First half is one leg, second half is another leg. So and then the other end, this is one end of the high voltage winding, which is going here, and then the turns will be there, and the other end is taken out like this. This is the high voltage terminal. This is high voltage. But above this high voltage winding, there is again exciting winding, which is again shaded in black color. This exciting winding is used for actually cascading the transformers. This is of course for a given single unit it is not required, but for if you want to cascade the transformers, the next transformer will be cascaded using this. That we will discuss in the next stage. So here our high voltage, for example, if you see this kind of diagram, so this is our high voltage. Then for single unit, this portion is not needed unless we go for cascading connection. If you want to connect another transformer, we have to connect using this actually. So unless we use for that purpose, this is not required. Here itself, at this point itself, we are getting high voltage, and this is grounded. So this is how the connection. And then below the high voltage winding, so here in the first leg also, in the second also, there is this portion, this portion indicated here with crossed lines. So you can see this portion corresponds to compensating winding. This is also half on this, half on that, it is there. See, for example, first leg it is half, and second leg also there is compensating winding. But interestingly, you can see the compensating winding, there are two terminals on this also. There are two terminals on the second side also. So these terminals are connected in phase opposition. So like this, phase opposition. Phase opposition means the voltage generated is exactly equal. So in that case, what do you expect? What's the this winding, and what do you expect from this?
So there would be no flux generated by compensating winding?
There will be
no flux, magnetic flux generated by compensating winding?
No flux generated by compensating winding.
Yeah.
Flux generated by compensating, what do you mean by flux generated by compensating winding?
Sir, I feel a point, sir. Sir, there is a similar dot polarity. So just to counteract the dot polarity, we connect it in a opposite manner so that there is no voltage stress in the middle.
Voltage stress in the middle means? What is middle?
Voltage stress in that core, there should not be any voltage stress, because if you directly connect the windings without phase opposition, then the dot polarity will be near to each other, like in the same phase. That would mean that there is a voltage stress, because plus and plus would be near each other, minus would be near each other. So the voltage will oppose each other. But if you keep it in phase opposition, then the dot polarity will be different, 180 degree. So that
Oh, here phase opposition means, here phase opposition means, so it is exactly same voltage if there is no leakage assumed. So this is the, if this is the dotted terminal, and this is the dotted terminal for that, for the other winding. So you are,
yes, sir. That's what I said, sir. Because if you directly keep on the other side without phase opposition, the dot will be above for both the sides, for left side and the right side. So if you keep a dot above for both left and right side, it will be leading to voltage stress.
see, first of all, why should I connect like this? See, that connection is not good, so this connection is good, not like that. First of all, why should I connect like this? Why should there be a winding like this? What is the use of this winding? Because here it is indicated. Please remember, this is not primary. This is not primary. This is just compensatory winding. And what is done here, you can see clearly. Okay, this terminal goes to this terminal and this terminal goes to this terminal. So whatever, ideally, if equal voltage is generated, you cannot expect any currents because voltage is same. So there is no question of currents inside the windings, right? So, but what is the purpose? What could be the purpose?
So maybe if there is voltage imbalance between 3A and 3B, the compensating winding will also have different voltages and they will create flux to compensate for that and make them equal.
Acha, one thing, the compensatory windings are physically not connected to any of the terminals of the high voltage or excitation or primary windings of this. This is independent actually. The compensatory windings, both compensatory windings, only they are connected among themselves in such a way that a dotted terminal goes to dotted terminal. So other than this, they are not connected to any other winding. Means they are not connected to primary, they are not connected to exciting winding, they are not connected to high voltage winding physically. But they are on just below the high voltage winding, just below the high voltage winding on the same leg, on two legs actually, each of the leg. So then what they can do, they can contribute. Is there a possibility that these voltages are not same? If so, why? See, this is dotted terminal, this is dotted terminal. The both compensating windings are having equal number of turns, but a dotted terminal goes to dotted terminal. In that case, will there be any voltage difference? If so, why? If not, okay, you expect. If not, there will be no circulating because voltage is same.
Sir, sir, the point which I said is the same only, sir. Because if you connect the upper left portion with the upper right portion, then the plus will get connected to minus. Then there will be circulating current. But if you keep the dot with the dot, then there will be plus and plus opposition, and the voltage will be same. So
You are you are comparing between two and then telling that this case should be better. Why should there be compare this winding at all?
sir, to counteract the circulating current.
To counteract the circulating current.
Yes, sir. So as circulating current does not flow.
Where if I don't have these windings, there will be no circulating current.
Okay, so you are saying that why are these windings even required at the first place?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay.
The voltage of 3A and 3B equal.
3A and
3B equal. High voltage, two windings. The high voltage winding is divided into two parts, na? So to keep their voltages equal, these compensating windings are used.
Okay, that is okay. One insight. Good, but is there a chance that they become unequal because the number of turns in winding number 2 primary is same as number of turns in winding number 5, which is exciting, and the number of turns in 3A are same as number of turns on 3B, and the number of turns in 4A same as number of turns in 4B, winding 4B. So is there a possibility of different voltages in 4A and 4B, first of all? If so, why? Come up. Last semester you have studied the course.
Sir, if symmetry is not maintained perfectly, then there can be a voltage difference. Symmetry between HV and LV. Exact.
I am telling you, symmetry is perfectly maintained. All
Okay,
windings, everything is symmetric. So if symmetry is there, there is no problem. Okay, so I will ask one more question. What is the fundamental difference between this transformer and the previous transformer which you have seen?
High voltage winding was not divided into two parts in the previous one.
High voltage winding is on same leg.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Maybe due to leakage in flux, the voltage in 3B may be changing from 3A.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was expecting from you. See, flux unfortunately cannot flow only through the core. Okay. It will leak through the other paths also, through the air also. So flux linking these coils, two coils, is not same. For example, I'll just draw the paths here. So which is basically causing the magnetization current or flux, establishment of flux in the transformer here.
The two. Second one, two winding.
Winding number 2, which is on only one of the legs. It is not on both legs. It is only one of the legs. This winding 2 is causing the flux establishment here due to connections here. Okay. Now, what will happen? The flux, established flux, of course, majority of the flux will flow, say like this, in this direction, if you say. So it will flow through this core and then link this winding. Okay. But what will happen? Some of the flux lines will, of course, go like this and then go like this and go like this, go like this. Leakage. There will be leakage. Last semester we have seen leakage. These flux linkages not linking both halves. Both halves means 3A and 3B, they are not linking. Only 3A they are linking. Of course, the flux that is passing through the core is linking both. Then how to equalize these windings? Equalize how to get the equal voltages on these windings. So this is the purpose. What we are doing is 4B and 4A, they are exactly symmetrical windings. But 4B and 4A are connected like this, the dotted terminal goes to the dotted terminal. So ideally, the voltage expected is to be equal. But it is not equal because of the leakage flux. Then what will happen? If two windings like 4A and 4B, which are supposed to be actually having equal voltages, they are connected in parallel, but they are not having equal voltages. Then what will happen?
There will be circulating current in the this wires linking 4A and 4B.
Exactly. There will be circulating current. There will be circulating current. There will be circulating current in the loop. In this loop, there will be circulating current. I will rather suppose this is having higher voltage, say, so something like this. This is how the circulating current will flow. Actually, there will be certain phase difference also. So it is depending on the phase and magnitude. Okay, there will be certain circulating current. What this circulating current will do effectively?
Sir, increase the losses.
That is secondary.
They will produce flux which will.
You first talk about basic purpose. What it will do?
Sir, it will produce flux which will make the 3A and 3B voltage equal.
Yeah, it will produce flux in such a way that the flux linked to the winding 3A and the flux linked to the winding 3B are exactly equal. Okay, that is the main purpose. Because the voltages you are indirectly, what is, the simple explanation is, you are equating the voltages of 4A and 4B. That's it. If you are making the voltages of 4A and 4B equal by connecting them in parallel, so obviously whatever flux is linking should be same for 3A and 3B also, because voltages are same. How the voltages became same? By establishing certain circulating current. This current will produce additional flux in such a way that it will counter some flux, some portion of the flux of which is having excess leakage flux, and then which is having deficit leakage flux. For that, it will create additional leakage flux. So this is how it will balance the total flux in such a way that the windings in this leg, that first leg and the second leg, will have exactly same fluxes linking them. Therefore, we will get the exactly midpoint connected to the core, and then each winding is equally stressed. Now, what is the advantage of going into two halves? Because see, each winding is similar to the single winding of this transformer. So each winding is similar to this single winding. So from this core level to here, roughly about 100 kilovolts we can obtain, say. So that is the limitation, physical limitation of making a single unit transformer. Now what we did is, by making such two halves and two legs, we could achieve 100 kilovolts on one leg, 100 kilovolts on another leg. So total around 200 kilovolts we can obtain. So that's what is the advantage of going for these windings, of two halves and two legs, or achieving a single unit testing transformer by making the midpoint of high voltage winding at core level. So this is the highest voltage that can be obtained. This is the mechanism. This is the design by which highest voltage that can be obtained using single unit transformers. Okay, so you can see any questions if you have. And then the number 5, the winding number 5 is exactly same as winding number 2. Number of turns are same and the construction is same, everything is same. But only difference is number 2, one of the terminals is at ground potential, while number 5, one of the terminals is high voltage potential. So this is the difference. Both are having exactly same voltage difference, means the voltage difference between the terminals is same. Means because number of turns are same, whatever voltage generated here, say V between these two terminals, is same as V here between these two terminals. But it is at a raised potential, this is available because one of the windings is at one of the terminals is at high voltage potential, and here the one of the terminals in the case of 2 is at ground potential. Therefore, this is an elevated level, you are having same voltage difference. So such kind of thing is useful for connecting the transformers in a cascaded manner. Yeah, so this is about single unit testing transformers. So these are the up to maximum around 300 and 350, something like that. 300 kV to 350 kilovolts. Such kind of transformers are available, commercially available. And beyond around 500 kilovolts, anyway, definitely we should not go for this, because there, cascading the transformers will be a good option, because due to high voltages even inside the transformer also, there will be problems actually in the design itself. So, and then the size of the transformer becomes so huge, so transportation, etc., and even cost also will increase for single unit transformer. So therefore, beyond 500 kilovolts, definitely it is a best option to go for cascading these transformers. How these transformers are cascaded, we will see. Just will give you a brief introduction for that, and the details we will see in the next class, of course. So for this one, what is do you have any questions or any doubts on this? Please ask.
Sir, sir, in this transformer we have core at mid potential, like mid high voltage potential, right?
Yes.
Sir, so how would we isolate this? Because usually core is at ground potential.
So this transformer, this transformer has to be kept at a particular height on insulating post in such a way that the voltage level of that insulating post will be higher actually. So that's how we have to isolate this one.
Thank you.
And sir, why do we keep it at the midpoint potential, the core?
Now, in a way, what are we doing here now? So this from core to this winding. Now, in this winding, what is the maximum voltage difference from core to this winding, primary winding, which is at ground? What is the maximum potential difference? Assuming that single winding transformer can be used for 100 kilovolts. So this is say 1 unit of the single, previously you have seen this, right? So here you can construct a transformer with about 100 kilovolts without any problem. Okay. So what is happening in this is you are having 100 kilovolts here. Okay. And then similarly you will be having 100 kilovolts, whatever it is, X kilovolts you can assume. 100 kilovolts. Now the voltage stresses within the winding are not crossing this 100 kilovolts level, right? But I am getting at the output 200 kilovolts. So this is the advantage. Okay. Voltage stresses within the windings, I am keeping the same as the previous case like this. But at the same time, I am getting double the voltage here. So that is the advantage. That's why we are going for this midpoint grounding system. Any other questions? Okay. So now just I will introduce how the transformers can be cascaded. And in the next class, we will cascaded transformers or transformers. Now that the single unit winding of single leg single unit winding, that first we will consider this winding. It has primary here. This is the primary, and this is the secondary winding or high voltage winding. So here one extra winding is not given, that is excitation winding. Excitation winding can also be included here. So here this is actually primary, this is secondary or high voltage, and here itself at the end there will be excitation winding, which is having exactly same number of turns as the primary winding. Primary and excitation winding are having same number of turns. So it's a diagram is given here. I'll draw its diagram. So this is the core. This is the core, and this is primary. This is primary. One of the windings is connected to the core and which is grounded here in this case. So the next level is not grounded, please. This level must be grounded. So here, this is the primary. Yes, this is the secondary winding, high voltage winding. And its one terminal is also grounded. And here it has an excitation winding, which is exactly same as this primary. So if it is V, again difference is again V, same. And then this is the high voltage, because this is at ground potential and this is HV. This is the high voltage that is generated. So this winding is high voltage winding. This winding is primary. This is exciting or excitation winding. Okay, this is one single unit of the transformer. Here this is of course core. Core. Now, can we connect two such transformer in cascading? Means since exactly V voltage we are generating here, suppose we have connected another transformer, so same make and model, etc. So primary is here. So this is again its primary, and then the core is here. This is connected here. Of course, this is not grounded, please remember. So this is the high voltage winding. Of course, this is again connected here. And here one more excitation winding will be there for connecting to other stage. But this is your high voltage you have taken. From here to, this is not ground, please. This is not ground. This point is not ground. Now, if you take the voltage at this terminal with respect to the ground, is ground. So this voltage is how much? For example, this is V, HV, if you say this voltage. Then again, this is also V, HV, right? And since you have connected simply in series like this, two windings, then the output high voltage now in these two transformers is 2 times VHV. Okay. This is again core. This is HV winding. This is excitation winding, which is not connected now. So this is how we can go on connect n number of transformers, right? N times VHV can be generated. Any questions on this? Do you see any problems here? Technical or feasibility or any operational issues or any blunders in this? That this way it cannot be done.
Sir, in this, the second transformer will not be at ground potential, na? So
Yes. That is one thing. Yeah, one observation. Second transformer cannot be at ground potential. Its body, core, everything should be at
HV potential.
high voltage. Yes.
So we'll have to keep it some height or isolated. How?
Yeah, you have to create some basement, some insulating basement for that, insulating post for that. So on which that transformer has to be placed at a particular height. You cannot keep the second transformer on ground. Please remember. Only the first transformer can be on ground. Second transformer should be floating at a potential, high voltage potential.
Sir, I had a doubt.
Is there a
Technically, if you
complexity?
like increase the numbers, then in that case, how will you achieve like too much of height? Because height is also a factor in this part. Because like,
See, when
isn't
you
there
are,
any way that you can take out the shelve out the height parameter, and without keeping it at height h, you can generate high voltage if there is a possibility in that case?
it's not possible. The height is required for high voltage. That is not possible. If you are generating 300 kV, the height should be different. If you are generating 600 kV, roughly you have to double the height. There is no other way. Physically also,
Okay.
you have to double the height. You see the transmission lines, right? So that 30 volts, you know the height. Of course, that height is required, but for the safety of human beings, they should not touch and all. So, and the vehicles have to move here and there. So we keep that height. But 11 kV and higher voltages, you can see clearly. The clearance is directly proportional to the voltage. We can't avoid that. So even if it is two transformer or single transformer, making the problem is, you have to make in a single unit so much height, and then so much engineering is required inside. And then that single unit transporting itself is a big challenge, because first of all, the roads in a developed country may not be fit for transporting a very transformer. So that is also an issue. So therefore, we have to go for the cascading transformer. Beyond 500 kilovolts, it is, throughout the world, beyond 500 kilovolts, more than 500 kilovolts, we will not use single unit. Of course, designs are possible for single units. Nothing is impossible in this world. So you can design a single unit for 2000 kilovolts, not an issue. But the lot of issues such as all this. So
your voice is breaking, sir. So your voice was breaking.
Hello? Okay, now?
No, sir, it's still breaking, sir.
That is you only are.
Sir, at least for me it's breaking. I don't know for others, sir. For
Sir,
me it is breaking.
video and
It is
voice is also very big. Broken.
Sir, I can hear others, but your voice is breaking, sir.
Okay, so if you have any questions, ask anyway. Okay. About it then.